were young, we had friends with whom we shared classes, confirmation programs, hung out with on those long summer days at the beach, and exchanged our dreams of a true love, tall, dark, and gorgeous. We look back and remember the giggles that went on late into the nights of sleepovers, or the secret adventure of checking out the taste of your parents' cigarettes and rye, neither appealing at that age. And then came the time of dates and dances, movies and passion, and sometimes we found what we were sure was true love. But college and university brought new friends from all sorts of places, and together we endured the awkwardness of fitting into this new environment and bonded over shared notes, rolled eyes, and fish out of water tribulations. 4 years of togetherness with roommates and classmates that quickly tapered off once degrees were granted and we dispersed to hometowns and blossoming new careers. Somewhere around this time, for the really lucky ones, a crush turns into a lover, friend, spouse, a companion chosen for life. Then came shared parenthood, and that changes friendships once more. As one's status changes, one's title changes. From child to teen to adult to spouse, parent, grandparent, to senior and retiree. We don't necessarily get to adopt all these roles, but the changes are reflected in how one is seen and treated by others, and new friendships emerge. People move, even if only to the suburbs, and new neighbors become new friends. Interests change, and you see old companions less frequently. While some move to other countries and the letters and calls become less frequent until they exist only in Christmas cards, the last remnant. Marriage changes relationships, both having friends from other times and places. Sometimes they flourish, and other times the singles can't enjoy nights out with the married who no longer flirt in search of a new challenge. And as children are added, new friends from daycare and schools are introduced into your life and replace the bachelor nights and hen parties. Things evolve. The married tend to hang out with other marrieds and the singles with singles. My husband, Harold, and I had a challenging first few years when we married because his friends and mine did not mesh well between significant age and political differences. CBC newsman and progressive conservative came from rather different worlds. But eventually, new couples became joint best friends. Sunday dinners and travel that gelled because of shared interests. Our new travel companions, Keith and Barb, became fast friends. Keith and I loved exploring old castles, measuring and speculating over every niche and view. But not for Barb and Harold. They preferred exploring the shops and museums, the restaurants and pubs. When evening arrived, Keith and Harold would be off to a fine restaurant with deep conversations over bouquet garnis and appropriate wines, while Barb and I delighted in the pub she would have selected and meeting the locals and joining in the sing-alongs. Perfect travel companions. After all, what can compete with castles, pubs, and friends? Work also brings new friends who tend to change as you change employers. And retirements mark a real separation from the savory office gossip and lunches together. Friends become grandparents, and grandchildren dominate conversations and plans for Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving. And over the years, funerals become more frequent, and old friends are not replaced. But throughout it all, these companions of all our different ages so greatly enrich our lives. Sometimes being alone is great after a busy day. Just put your feet up and read a good book and warm up a TV dinner. No demands. But you wouldn't want that for every evening. It can't compare with the warmth of an evening of shared theater, followed by a glass of wine over discussions of the finer points or disasters of the production. The key thing is to work at keeping those relationships intact whenever you can. Make the extra effort to write or call if distance is an issue. Be on the lookout and commit to a street festival or a gala at the club or lunch after church every Sunday. Friendships take time and commitment. You have to work at it. As changing times result in friendships waning and ending, you have to make the effort to gain new ones. Companionship is a gift that gives meaning to both parties. It's caring and real and fits into the expectations that Jesus has set for each of us. Mutually caring for another, sharing life's joys and burdens. The good days, when shared, are richer, and the bad days, when shared, are lightened. Arms that hold you when sad and clap you on the back when successful. And that is what a friend, a companion, is, and why we need them through all the stages that life offers. And so I pray, sweet Jesus, you chose 12 companions to accompany you, to walk with you, and to carry forth your mission when you were no longer with them. Let me be faithful to my friends, and let the companionship we share ever enrich our lives and comfort our sorrows. This I ask in the name of friendship and the saints who accompanied you and in whom you entrusted the spreading of the word. So may it be. Amen.